What's going on, everyone? Evan here. We are back with, yet again, another interview, changing up the programming here for a while, but I hope you guys liked all the interviews we did at the Equip Expo. Got one more. Greg actually saw this company at the expo. I didn't, but then we had to leave, didn't have time to get with them.
Really?
We got Thunder Lighting Supply on today, Grant Fields. Basically, what we're going to talk about is the Christmas light industry and side business today, and I think you're really going to enjoy this episode, something that I kind of want to get into, so sit back and enjoy.
Hey, it's Aaron with the Mowing in the Dark Lawn Care Podcast.
Hey, this is Tony's Lawn Care Talk.
Hey guys, Cameron here with the Lawn Care Life in Missouri.
Hey guys, this is Dan White with Lawn Care Unscripted.
What up, guys? It's Phil with Phil's Lawn Care.
1 minute, guys. Forgot to tell you about Green Frog Web Design. Don't fast forward through this.
Don't be rude.
Ezra McCarthy is the leader in the lawn and landscape industry for websites. Solid guy.
My man.
Awesome brother, too. Really think you should get a website, guys. I'm going to be getting one for my business probably this upcoming year. I've already had too much work, but Ezra can bring business to your business, as I always say, with a website. If you guys want to target something in your business, like I want to get into blade sharpening, like offering that for a service, targeting aerations more, having a website, having at least that for an online presence along with your flyers can go a long way. Tell them we sent you. The first month you sign up is $1. And if you don't, I'm going to have Greg haunt you with his Kentucky Blue sound drop. So hop on that, guys.
Kentucky Blue, yeah. Kentucky Blue, yeah.
Kentucky Blue, yeah.
Hello, this is Greg.
And you're listening to the Turf Nerds.
Evan, you just like to sit around all winter, slack off, do nothing, and you decided you don't want to make any money in your life, so you're not going to start your holiday lighting business.
This might be something that I'm doing this upcoming, like maybe not this year, Greg, but next. Greg, guys, you may be asking why we have a holiday lighting company, Thunder Lighting Supply, on the podcast, but Greg, you can lead into that.
Well, we were at the expo, and I have to give Shell credit. Shell's my wife. We were out walking, and she goes, "Well, look at there's a Christmas lighting company over there." And I said, "Well, I don't, I've thought about that, but I don't know if it's something I really want to get into yet." And she said, "What about getting them on the show?" And I went, "Dang, she's right." So we stopped by the booth, and I met Mike Kaplan, and Mike and I were talking for a while. A very nice guy, and he said, "Look, I'm going to have somebody reach out to you." And he said, "Well, as a matter of fact, there he is, Grant Fields with Thunder Lighting." And Grant, what's your title there?
I'm head volunteer here. Really not too sure what any of us title-wise are, but we all come in, we all love what we do, and that's pretty much it.
Well, that sounds great. No, I was really excited to have some conversations with you guys, and even Mike, when I was talking to him, he had said, "Well, why aren't you doing this right now?" And I said, I'm a solo guy, and as soon as I finish my mowing, I got to start my fall cleanups and trying to get those done. And I said, my nephew and I happen to have a show, a podcast that we do, and I said one of the things that we've been trying to do is figure out how to set something up for doing some additional work. But with our schedules and being solo, it's hard for us to be able to do something like that. So that's what. But he had encouraged me and said, "Look, let me tell you a little bit about it." And that's what we wanted to do, is have you come on and talk a little bit about Thunder Lighting, what it is that you guys do, and how you set it up. There's a number of factors that we can go into, and let's go ahead and get started.
For sure. So explain to me a little bit about you guys. Where are you from? What do you guys do as businesses now? And I know you said you're solo. Evan, do you run solo too?
Oh, yeah, I run solo. I've been running a solo, solo the past 4 or 5 years, but I had a guy who helped me. It's predominantly just lawn care, so, mowing, just the traditional mowing. We do mulch, hedge trimming, things like that. And I do plow snow in the winter, but you know how it is in the winter with snow. It's totally random. Either you get it, either you don't. I see you guys are based in New York. Not sure if you even get snow, depending on where you are. But it's always looking for Greg and I, which makes our show like different. We're always trying to find different ways to make side cash in the winter. if you're not plowing, what are you doing? Like, what are, like, guys, like listen to this, like, what are you actually doing because we want to always keep the revenue and income going. And towards the winter, I'll admit my bank account can be pretty dry because I was paying off some stuff. Now I'm in a much better spot, but I've always had the holiday Christmas lights in the back of my head because I've seen some trucks go around here. There's really only one. And there's other guy on YouTube that was doing it, and he was making really good, like, money doing it. And Greg and I, right, Greg, we're always trying to find different ways to make cash, and it's probably not rocket science with the holiday lights, but the caveat to that is you have to be pretty precise, because you can probably get yourself into a lot of danger and hurt if you don't know what you're doing, Grant, right?
So I totally agree with you on that. And I see it as a completely different perspective. I see it as a business you can plan for, unlike snow plowing. You know, when Christmas is coming every year, you can plan accordingly, make sure you're ready to go, clean. You have a plan, you know what you need to do, and it's scheduled for, hey, this needs to get done by this date because that's when Christmas is. The flip side to that is, unlike snow and ice, you're not working, 70 hours in a row straight plowing snow. You're not tired. You're not dealing with inclement climate conditions. You can plan ahead, so you're not working when it's icy out. No, we are from New York. Snow hit or miss depending on the year here. We've had years we get, 80 plus inches of snow. We have years where we get no snow. So it's kind of a hit or miss thing. Where are you guys from?
We're based in Metro Detroit. Greg is, if you pull up we have this on video, guys. So just this Metro Detroit. Greg's about 40 minutes northwest of me. But yeah, we haven't gotten much snow actually, Grant. It's funny that you said that, especially last year when the El Nino kind of came in and made the temperatures kind of warm. I only went out for 2 plowing events, and what was I doing the rest of the time? Just kind of plodding around, dawdling, dithering, sitting around, trying to figure out what to do. Greg has a business, but he's set things up where he doesn't have to go ham during the winter. But right, Greg, you wouldn't mind the extra cash, doing holiday lights, would you?
It's something I've actually thought about doing for a little while. It's just trying to mix it into the schedule with the cleanups, and then if I'm trying to do cleanups for my existing clients and I have lights on them, how many extension cords am I going to run over?
There you go. That's something that you do hear a lot. Is your worst nightmares in the holiday lighting industry are going to be your landscapers and Mother Nature. Those are the only 2 things working against you. Now, unlike snow plowing or traditional, winter work, the good thing is you already have everything you need to start your holiday lighting business. You have trucks, you have trailers, you have a way to move lights around, you have a way to move yourself around, and you own ladders because you're landscaping companies. So the startup cost of a holiday lighting business is going to be a website landing page, some yard signs, and some literature. And that's all you really need. You already own every other asset you need. You don't need to go out and buy an $8,000 plow, sanders, investment, things like that. You have what you need to get started.
Because I would argue, Grant, and you could probably attest to this, your typical holiday lights, they're not relatively that expensive. They're probably in the inexpensive ballpark. You just got to know how to put them up. Now, that's a good question to ask you guys. You sell all type of lights, but you're really focused on the holiday lighting. How did you, Grant, kind of get into the lighting game, and specifically the holiday lighting business? Because it says here on your website, you've been in commercial lighting, since you were 14, so you probably know a thing or two to be dangerous, right?
Don't be deceived, I'm not that old. So 14 years ago was only 10 years ago for me now. But I started when I was in high school. I had a good friend of mine had a brother who owned a holiday lighting install business. And they're like, hey, you want to make some money? And I was like, sure. They're like, all right, come wrap some trees for us. So I started out wrapping trees when I was 14. I was 15 doing installs. 16, I finally got, some form of a license in the state of New York. So I was able to drive around and do my own thing with it. By my senior year of high school, I had my own group of guys that worked with me, and we did installs for this guy. So we were doing some crazy hours every week, every day after school, just going around, the 3 of us doing installs, putting them up all weekend long. And, even though I worked for somebody else, it wasn't really a side hustle, but we still made crazy money in high school doing installs. And so when I was getting ready to go away to college, I told my boss at the time, I was like, hey, listen, I'm going away to school. I guess I'll catch you when I come home. We'll catch up, this and that. He's like, you know what you're doing. You know how to run the crew. You know how to do that. Let's see you do some installs where you're going to school. He said, I'll cover the whole back end of the company. You run the front end of it. And we started our whole own branch of the business out where I went to college. Fast forward, COVID hit. When I got out of school, I was looking for a job because I couldn't do Christmas lights full time. And I was talking with Mike Kaplan, who Greg ran into at Equip Expo. And I knew him well because I used to come get my lights from him. He's like, hey, you need a job? And I'm like, I guess that's what you need when you get out of college. So sign me up, and it's been a great run ever since. So I went through the whole installing lights, running a business, managing the business, to now teaching other entrepreneurs. And I especially love teaching entrepreneurs that were my age when I was doing it. So anybody 16 to 25, I love teaching them the lighting business and how they can make money on the side or as a primary add-on.
Greg, what do you got?
So I was talking a little bit to Mike, and he was trying to encourage me to do this, but he was telling me a little bit. I want to back it up a little bit just with regard to Mike. He told me you guys have 62 employees, 6'2". You have a lawn business as well. You do lawn and you do snow and you do lighting, but 62 employees, 47 trucks, I believe he said. So you guys have a big gig going here. And but how long ago did Mike get going in it, and how did he start looking at it and going, wait a minute, this is a good gig? So this is what I'm trying to look at for our guys is, when's the time to pull the trigger? And then you guys also offer training and such. So that's what I'd like to be able to get into next, if you can help me out there.
Sure. So Mike and his landscaping company, Mike actually bought the landscaping company probably about 7 years ago now. And when he was working for the landscaping company, he was the operations manager for about 20 years. And at the time, he was about my age, and he went to the owner, how can I make more money working for you? The owner at the time was like, Christmas lights. They were probably doing 10 installs when Mike first joined on, and they're storing it like everybody does when they start. They're storing lights in somebody's garage. And, they're doing it on the side, and he was able to grow it into this monster where he's able to keep, 16 to 20 guys busy for a month and a half doing installs, where the net profit is better than a landscape company that's running 47 trucks the whole year.
That's impressive, though, isn't that? Like I guess the profit margins on that, because it's relatively inexpensive, and how many months again, Grant, are they busy just doing lights?
So lighting, you're really busy from about right now is when most lighting companies are getting started. That week before Halloween, you're trying to knock out some of your bigger projects that could be turned off, and then knock those out, get those started. And then you're going to, jump right into it November 1st, start to put up wreaths, garland, and everything else you need to on a house. And then you're going to keep running hard to probably about December 5th. So you're really looking at about a month, maybe a month and a half of doing hard installs. Some guys do start earlier with bigger projects, but your typical company is not starting till about now. And then you're looking at maybe 2 to 3 weeks of takedown, depending on the weather and other inclement weather conditions. But you're talking about a whole business in 3 total months, including, there's 3 weeks in the middle where you're just kind of doing repair jobs and, making sure the maintenance is good on your lighting projects. But in 3 months, you're talking about a higher net profit than a company does in the whole year.
I believe that because I've been married for 4 years. We have a house here, and I put up some tacky Christmas lights, Grant, the past couple of years. You would probably shun me and shame me for my job, but I've noticed, and with the trend of the people, and Greg can tell you too. Greg's been in the corporate world for a long time, but he got into the lawn care business about 5 years ago. People only come outside when it's warm, and it's like, oh well, I want to install I get why people install Christmas lights, basically in October or even as early as like September, because if you try to do it any closer to like November and December, depending on where you live, you're not going to be able to. People just won't, come out and do it, and that's crazy. You make that much profit in 3 months. I'm taken back by that. What do you got, Greg?
Well, I wanted to find out a little bit about the training, because you said now is about the time that guys would be starting to do these installs. And if this is something that somebody were really interested in, and if they listen to our show tonight or tomorrow and they go, wow, I really want to do that. How do I go about doing it? So are you guys still doing the training programs? And tell us a little bit about that. I know you guys offer some, I don't want to take away your thunder, thunder lighting. Man. Sorry, it's bad, but what the heck, I could do it. You're not going to miss that opportunity.
We started with the training classes probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And it's just something we had such a high demand on. We used to do one-on-one, hey, we'd send out a sales rep to join your company for the day, walk you through every step of it. And we just had such a high volume on it. We needed to bring it into a classroom setting. And it's something we like to refer to more as like a to Z of, holiday lighting. We go over a little bit of estimation, design, sales tactics, and then we jump right into this field and we do a live install on a commercial building and a residential house just to get your feet wet in all aspects of lighting, or all aspects of holiday lighting. So we try and give you a little bit of a taste of everything that you could encounter on a holiday lighting install, as well as part of that estimation, sales, design tactic, because that's something we see people struggling with a lot.
And that's important because, granted, my background is sales. I was 30 years 40 years in the corporate America in sales. So for me, something like that's really easy, just figuring out the mantra of what I wanted to say. But for the sales side, because a lot of guys aren't necessarily sales reps. And so that would be pretty difficult. But tell us a little bit about the cost of your training and what's involved with that.
Sure. So we do free trainings. We want to help all people grow their businesses. And it's something we just started from the beginning. It was a no-brainer for us to make free trainings. We want to help you deliver. We want your business to succeed so you can help our business succeed. And as far as, what you just mentioned about people not having sales experience, I hate to say it, but it's almost not heavily required in the business because of the time crunch that the lights need to get installed in. So unlike, a patio install or a soft seat install where you have time to price it out, price shop, if it gets done by the middle of the summer, the 4th of July party, it's okay. Christmas comes in hard and fast and people don't think about it until Halloween's usually over. And at that point, a lot of the bigger outfits are already sold out. So all you need to do is give a client, an estimate. Hey, this is what it is. They'll turn around and either sign it or they won't. There's no real selling yourself to them just because they need to either make a decision that day or they're not going to get the services that year.
Okay, so free training. I mean, that's got to be incredible. So this is a one-day training generally that you're doing?
One day. We're from New York. We're fast-paced. We don't have any patience as people, as some people in the rest of the country know. So we like to keep it outfitted to something that we would want to sit through. We do a lot of hands-on part. We usually only spend about 3 hours in the classroom, and out of that 3 hours, we're spending about an hour hands-on with products, just making sure people know how they go together. So when we jump into the afternoon in the field, they're ready to put them on a house or a building.
Okay, and then you also offer some other advantages too. You catalogs and some things too. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we want to help you guys grow as businesses, and you guys are one-man operations. You don't have marketing teams or people really working on it. You're doing it all yourself. You're taking pictures, you're posting pictures, you're getting everything out to the customers. And we want to help outfits like yourselves and larger outfits kind of get into the lighting business without having to take too much money out of their pocket. Because again, our whole big thing is you don't need any assets to get started. You already own them all. So we have a marketing team here that'll actually help you guys get yourselves looking professional for the lighting business. So we offer free catalogs and free flyers. All you have to do is hop on our website, fill out a form. They'll send you back a PDF of a flyer. You can start sending it out tomorrow. Catalog proof will get to you. All you have to do is approve it. Then we'll send you 25 free custom printed catalogs with your company name, your logo, your contact information. That way you guys are selling the products that we offer and that your customers have the full potential to see what we have in stock.
If you see this on video, guys, Greg has the Thunder Lighting wholesale product catalog up. And Greg, you are prepared for this.
Yes, but I think I need to be talking so that they can actually see it. So if that's the case, that's the catalog that you would send to them.
Yes, sir. So we take that exact catalog, we pull out all the not fancy stuff, all the nitty gritty parts and pieces that the customers really don't need to see. We throw in a bunch of picture pages. That way the homeowners have some inspiration for what they might want to see. And then we just keep it simple. We give them all the products that the contractor can offer to them. That way they say, hey, I like this. I want to pick it out. And we do give the contractor the option to have either retail pricing in it or no pricing in it. That way they can pick how they kind of run their business with the homeowners.
And then I notice in here in the catalog, you're showing there's prices in here. There's a price in red and then a price in black. I'm assuming the red price is what our cost would be, and then the black would be what you would be charging the client.
You got it, Greg. So yeah, we kind of set a baseline for the business owners. Hey, this is what we recommend you charging to a homeowner, and this is what your cost is going to be. We lay it out right in front of you. We don't make you jump back and forth between catalogs and price sheets and websites. It's in front of you. It's there for you to look at.
So that red price is not going to be in the catalog that we would show the client, I would assume, correct?
Correct. So we pull that red price out and either just leave the retail price, or there is an option to do it with no pricing. If you want to give the customer an all-in price of, hey, this is what your lights are going to cost installed, including the cost of the lights. There's a couple of different business models when it comes to holiday lighting. People are either selling lights to the homeowners or they're renting lights to the homeowners. And depending on how you run your business, depends whether you're going to want those prices in there or not.
And then this is another piece that you would be able to take to the client and hand that to them? Or is this something you'd pass out as a flyer generally?
That's something we give out to contractors. We do have trimmed down versions of that though. So we have some trifolds, we have door hangers, postcards, and flyers all ready for your logo to just get added onto them. And then you guys will have them to disperse as you need.
So it sounds like, Grant, you're making this really easy for people to hop into this. Now, let's talk about the pricing here. How do you guys like price doing holiday lighting? So I'm an 1,100 square foot house here. It's a ranch style house, nothing tall. Say I wanted to put icicle lights all around my house. How do you guys come to like the pricing, like with this to make it a good deal for the customer, but also for you guys to turn a nice profit?
So we went ahead and made a whole pricing estimation sheet for you guys. So it's on our website, thunderlightingsupply.com. You can hop on there, check it out, and it basically breaks it down. You know, if you're selling lights to the customer, it breaks down so you can input what products you want to sell to the customer, gives you the retail pricing on there. Then you'll jump over to the estimation page for labor. You'll put in there, hey, the customer's getting a wreath, some icicles. It'll pop out what we recommend you charge to install the lights, take down the lights, and store the lights if that's something you want to offer to your customers. And then it'll break down your wholesale costing as what you spent on the lights versus what you charge the customer for the lights. We try and make it super simple for all contractors to do. It is super busy this time of year for you guys and, you know, all holiday lighting businesses because you're cramming in as many installs as you can. You're trying to get your fall cleanups done. And we want you guys to stay organized as easy as possible.
Now, for like a solo guy, like Greg and I both do gutters, but I won't hop on generally 2-story houses because there's just a risk of, I mean, we both have liability, but on some aspects that can be a wuss bag. Like when you're doing like a 2-story house, like what's the most comfortable way to install lights on that house without, I guess, plummeting down and hurting yourself? You guys ever have any like issues with people, hey, I did this 2-story and I hurt myself, or things didn't go according to plan?
Unfortunately, we do hear it here and there from contractors that come in and, you know, people in the past that just weren't using the proper safety items. The great thing now, we have a ton of technology that can assist you in being safe on a roof. So we do offer a couple different roofing ladders, screwless anchor points for roofs so you could harness yourself in. Great safety tools like the pitch hopper and Cooper Paw pants, Cooper Paw boots, and steep gear shorts. That way you can throw them on, adds a little safety while you're on the roof. That way if you do slip and fall, you can catch yourself, have better grip while you're walking on the roof, or be tied in without screwing into somebody's roof.
So now, I guess we get in some of the electricity principles here, though. Now, all these lights, I mean, are they really pulling that much power? Do you have ever have any problem with people doing extravagant lights where they're popping breakers, or are all these lights super just kind of like low power? It's like moot point, doesn't even matter, you know, type of thing.
So we used to get it all the time back in the day doing incandescents. Probably about 6 or 7 years ago now at this point, almost everything in the industry switched over to LEDs. You know, that's when they really got that nice warm white look down in an LED light. So even bulbs that have an incandescent look, and we have a bunch of different styles of those for the people that still want that classic Christmas look, they don't want anything too bright or powerful. All of it's LED, it's pulling really low wattage per bulb, so you can get a ton of bulbs on the one outlet. And what I tell customers when they ask me that question is, how do I know when I need to go to a second outlet? I said, without getting a meter out, testing everything, or counting your numbers, when you think you're too far away from the outlet, go to a second outlet. That's the simplest answer, because with LEDs, you don't need to start adding up that wattage until you're at, 1,800 plus bulbs per outlet.
It's funny you say that. I was stringing my Christmas tree last year, and I had, I think, about 8 or 9. So your mini lights. I just had your warm white mini lights on my tree, and I was blowing I didn't realize you can't just totally disconnect them all through the same, going all the way up, because I was actually like popping a fuse on the actual light. So there is a little bit of you have to have some foreknowledge going into this. What'd you have, Greg?
No, I've noticed the same thing. I've figured out a long time ago that I just have an extra extension cord there and pop it into that. But no, this looks really neat. Now going back to the training a little bit. This is peak season. Are you guys offering any training classes right now that somebody could get in?
So we just had one on Friday. We have another one going on tomorrow. And then we do offer a whole online platform for that. So we do have a guide for all contractors to take a look at. It's our, how to add $150,000 of revenue to your home service business this year. And it really breaks it down into simple steps. Hey, we'll help you with the marketing, do this. Hey, you want to learn how to price out jobs? Watch our videos on this. You want to learn how to install lights? Take a look at this. You want some material in hand so you can kind of walk along with the training videos and the guide as you're going? Give us a call. We'll send you out a demo kit for free. It comes with a bunch of different clips we offer, different bulbs, different types of lighting styles. That way, as you're trying to get to know these products with the videos, you can do it in front of yourself and you're not trying to struggle on the job site later.
That sounds great. You fly in, where are you guys out of? What's closest airport to you?
Well, we're based out of Long Island, New York. We're about halfway between LaGuardia, JFK, and Islip. Easy 40-minute drive from any of those options. Plenty of hotels in the area. Great food. You don't have to worry about that. Tons of great food in New York. If you've never been, I'd highly recommend it.
And then go see, one of my favorite things to see was Ellis Island out in New York. That was just amazing to me. I had a chance to go out there years ago and visit that, and I saw the Statue of Liberty, and I said, well, yeah, that's green. Big green lady, but Ellis Island was just amazing when I saw the stories that go on in there. So if you get a chance to get out there, guys, if you're going to do something like this, I'd highly recommend it. But get over to Ellis Island too while you can. But everybody probably wants to rush back and try and start setting up some sales. When is the best time for? And you may have touched base on this, but I might have missed it. I apologize. When's the best time to start getting out and You mentioned putting up the signs and passing out flyers. When's the best time to start doing that so that you get some phone calls?
So there's really two peak times to do that. There's the people that were thinking about it last year, didn't get a chance to hop on it, and they're going to start looking for somebody probably at the end of August, beginning of September. Then September is a pretty slow month throughout it. Right at the beginning of October is when people will really start putting out signs, advertising for it, getting the word out there, and even starting to get some early installs up. That way they can get the name out there. One of the best ROIs I've seen for contractors when it comes to doing installs is raffling off free installations or going ahead and just doing, hey, everybody knows this one house in town. Let's go decorate that house, put some lawn signs in front. And that's where I've seen a ton of contractors generate leads. And
then you just get you just ask them to turn the lights on early?
That's it. Hey, I'm doing your house for free. Let us use it as some advertisement. Let us get some content of it. We're going to flip your lights on a little early. It's not something you want to leave on. We understand, but we like that as business.
That's funny, Greg. I mean, I guess you could almost take that principle and do it with lawn care, Greg, right? Hey, can I mow your lawn for free to try to advertise for someone else to kind of do a pivot here, Grant? So I would assume most of the business holiday, or do you guys sell a considerable amount of landscaping lights? I know we got landscapers who listen to this show, but what's the big seller for Thunder Lighting supply right now? Like what are people buying?
Well, this time of year is holiday lighting, almost strictly. We do still supply landscapers and installers with landscape lighting, low voltage lighting. We do just offer permanent lighting as well. That's something we've really seen a rise in the power washing community and gutter community, because it's something you just tie into what you're already doing. So it's a type of lighting, it goes around the soffit. It's more so perimeter lighting. And it's something that contractors are kind of weary about installing when they already install Christmas lights, because they think it's going to take away from their holiday lighting install business. When really, if a homeowner has a budget set aside for holiday lighting, that's not going anywhere, regardless of whether they put up permanent lighting or not.
So I see on your website you have your LED mini lights. They're warm, something for like your Christmas tree. Tout your brand here. Why should I buy holiday lights from the Thunder Lighting Supply versus going to Walmart or a local hardware store? Because these green, let's just be honest. These mini lights, they're inexpensive, but they're kind of cheap, if that's the right way to say it. What makes your product better than me going to Walmart or a local hardware store to buy them?
So what we really do is we take pride in having a commercial grade piece of equipment that we offer to contractors. And with that, we back it with a 3-season guarantee. First 3 seasons, you plug it in, it doesn't light up, not an act of Mother Nature that goes against it. You send it back to us, we'll send you a replacement. All of our bulbs are not replaceable, which a lot of homeowners are like, oh my God, one bulb goes out, they all go out. It's actually more beneficial because they're fully sealed. So no water is going to get in there, cause any corrosion, cause any damage, which is the failure point that you'll see of a lot of retail line lights. Next thing we have is we have lights that have a resistor in them. So it's going to keep a more steadier light, steadier voltage going to the actual bulb itself. And it's not going to cause a spark, which is going to, a spark in voltage, which is going to cause them to go out.
Oh, wow. So it sounds like they're better than the cheap Walmart lights, Greg, right?
Yeah, that 3-year guarantee. I think I bought a set of lights somewhere else, Grant. Sorry. I bought a set of lights somewhere, and they were, the following season, they were already bad for me. And it was very frustrating because, I had to deal with it, had to change everything all out again, or half the light set would go out. And that's when you just shove them down, the burnt out lights, and that you shove those down in the shrubs, and you use the ones that are lighting for you to, those go up top, but the burnt out ones go down on the bottom. But I like that 3-year warranty that you guys are offering. It's that's a really neat thing to see. The commercial lighting, that's another sell for the client that you just tell them, hey, these are commercial lights. These aren't the things you're finding at your local hardware. So you got some neat things to be able to see. What's the biggest selling light that you guys have for Christmas lighting? And then I want to go back a little bit to that landscape lighting too. So Christmas lights, what's the biggest selling lighting that you have?
Warm white C9 bulbs. C9 bulbs, that bulb that's probably about 2 inches long, has that nice teardrop shape to it. Faceted bulb, which is going to have a textured outside. That way it disperses light nice and evenly. That's your number one seller when it comes to the holiday lighting installs.
Okay, well, that's great. Quickly, landscape lighting, is that that's not part of the training that you offer there, or is that something they can come back for?
We do completely separate trainings for both permanent lighting and landscape lighting. Both are free. A lot of the times our vendors for those actually sponsor them, so they'll go away and give away gift cards for everybody who attend. They'll give away product at those events. And we really just like to educate our customers and do it for free, because a lot of your bigger outfits that are selling landscape lighting aren't offering programs like that. And we think it's something that provides value to contractors and gives them a reason to come back to us.
That's great. Well, Grant, is there anything that you want us to cover that we didn't mention, or is there something you'd like to mention? I know we're wrapping up. We told you we'd keep you kind of tight, and I know you probably want to get home and get
he's
some dinner.
Out there with the lights, guys. Man, if you watch this out there in video, I mean, Grant looks like he's just ready to go.
Yeah, we're still going. The warehouse guys are still out there. They're getting things ready for tomorrow. We try to get all orders out same day. If they come in late at night, they're going out first thing in the morning. So our team here is 7 days a week during this time of year, trying to help contractors out, because as a smaller outfit, I'm sure you guys aren't doing a ton of work on Saturdays and Sundays, which is time that, smaller outfits come in and they really thrive those couple of days a week. So we try and be here for them whenever they need stuff.
And that's a great point. I'm sorry to interrupt you. That's a great point for the solo guys, that this is the time where Evan and I are starting to slow down a little bit, but we can pick up some of this lighting stuff on the Saturday, Sunday jobs, even though we're doing all our cutting on Monday to Friday, and then we can maybe do some of this stuff on the weekend if that helps. Also, I noticed that you got free shipping on this stuff as well.
So yes, sir. So nobody likes trying to figure out what their costs are once stuff gets them, adding credit card fees, shipping fees onto an order, it just keeps adding up. And it's something you really don't want to see as a business or as a person in life, it just aggravates everybody. So we don't charge any credit card fees on our orders, and we offer free shipping on all orders over $150 except for oversized items. And it's something that, helps contractors know what their numbers are. They know what they're paying up front. They're not going to go, oh, I need to add this much in for credit card fees and calculate 10% up for shipping. And no, the price you see is the price you're going to pay out the door.
Stupid question, Grant, to wrap it up. What's the kind of average, I guess, profit you turn on typical jobs, if that makes sense? Like, what's the, I know you have the estimating.
What's your profit margin?
Yeah, profit margin here. So for cleanups, Greg and I will charge anywhere from $100 to $150 an hour for that. But doing a small, simple job, you guys have to charge a premium to make any money, right? Or it's just not worth your time.
So when you guys are cutting grass, what are you guys typically getting per man hour while cutting grass?
What would you say, Greg? Per man hour? I mean, well,
it's just it's as solo guys we're doing
solo. You want
to
$60
to $90 an hour
or $80 to $100 an hour? Yeah, give or take.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, Mike's outfit with 60 plus guys is probably turning about 35 to, if on a good day, $50 per man per hour cutting grass. You turn around and looking at holiday lighting business, at a minimum, you're getting $80 to $90 per man per hour on 4-man crews doing installs. You see some of those bigger jobs come in there, you're billing over $200 per man per hour on those jobs, plus material margins.
I'm still sitting there, Grant. Sorry, I can't believe anyone would pay that, but people like to make their houses look pretty, right? It's like, it's crazy what people pay for it. And I never realized you've kind of shed the light on this, like let there be light. People pay for this stuff, guys. It makes their house look pretty and nice during, the end of I guess summer and then winter. I mean, and then one last touch. You guys ever do holiday lights? You guys sell any Halloween lights or no?
For sure. It's definitely become a thing throughout the years, Halloween lights, Valentine's Day lights, St. Patrick's Day lights. People are trying to extend those seasons in the months where it's kind of, I don't want to say darker, but people aren't happy-go-lucky in the winter as much as they are in the summer. So trying to bring a little light to that in their homes. And, whenever you're home, and this is how we tell contractors sell landscape lighting, when you get home, it's dark out. When you leave for work, it's dark out. And it's especially true in the winter when it's getting darker earlier and lighter later. People want to see that light at their house because they want to see what they invested all this money into in a house. They don't want to get home and just see a dark, gloomy house with 2 lampposts in the front of it.
Sounds like my house.
Yeah. So I apologize, Grant. I started to ask you if there's anything we missed, and then I interrupted you and asked you a question. So is there anything important that you think we may have missed in our conversations here that you'd like everybody to be able to hear?
I'm sure I'll think of it tomorrow, but for now, it's, hey, if you guys want to make money, you should really think about adding holiday lighting to your business. And don't get turned down if you're not closing jobs in, those Octobers or beginning weeks of November. I know people that have done jobs as far as Christmas Eve or even Christmas Day morning. Customers that need lighting will go to whatever extreme to get it. And if you're willing to offer it to them whenever they need it, they'll sign with you.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh, wow.
Well, I was excited when I met you guys. I was glad that Shell had said you should talk to those guys, and so I thought it would be really neat to have you come on the show. And I'm glad you guys reached out to us as well. And this was neat, Evan. I think this was really neat opportunity for us.
Than just us blowharding about grass all the time, because that's like Greg and I can talk nonstop. So, Greg, great job. 11 out of 10 there in my book.
Yeah. Do you ever get to mow? Does he ever let you mow, Grant?
So I first started here. My college degree and my background was actually in being a diesel mechanic. So I had 4 years of higher education and being a small engines and heavy equipment mechanic. And there was this one time where when I was working in the mechanic shop, years ago, I turned out and I had to go mow for a job. A client just bought a house, one of our bigger clients. They bought a rental property. The grass was super high at it. And town was there, and the town was like, "Hey, this needs to be shorter by tomorrow morning, or we're gonna come give you a ticket for it." So Mike's like, "Hey, grab a mower, go to this house." And I was like, "Okay, how hard could this be?" I'm thinking in my head, I'm gonna stripe their lawn, I'm gonna make it look all good, and I did what he told me I had to do, and I got the grass shorter, and that was about the extent of my professional grass cutting experiences.
That's funny. So you did, I'm sorry, you said you did a 4-year degree for diesel mechanic?
Yep, I did 2 years in high school and then 2 years in college for technology.
Okay, all right. Well, Grant, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. And let's go, it's thunderlightingsupply.com. And is there a way that somebody can reach out to you as well if they wanted to ask you any questions in particular, or is it just go to the website or make a phone call?
Call the office. They're pretty good at getting a hold of me. So call the office. We're here every day from now until December 15th. So.
All right. Well, Grant, we hope everybody reaches out to you, or you'll get some people reaching out to you from this show, and appreciate you coming on.
I've got 2 guys that are going to reach out to me right in front of me. So we'll hear from you guys in about 20 minutes.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I'll probably buy some of your lights.
First 2 guys that are going to reach out from me are sitting right in front of me. So I'll hear from you guys in about 20 minutes.
What a good sale. Hey, you should help us sell some at ads for lawn care too. I'll probably be buying some of your warm lights here on the website because the lights we buy every year. I mean, even like doing the Christmas tree while I'm dragging this now, like the Christmas tree lights sometimes only last like 2 or 3 years. And if one bulb goes out, you have to find it and then replace it's just a pain in the butt. It looks like yours are a lot more quality and it's good price. So thanks, Grant.
We give that 3-season guarantee, but what I tell contractors is I wouldn't be surprised if you get 7 to 10 years out of the lights, especially in an indoor environment. These lights are going to really thrive in the outside and the elements a little less, but you see it every day, 7 to 10 years out of these lights. Again, you have one here, one there, but as a whole, you get years out of them.
That's great. Well, thank you again, Grant, for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. And let us know if we can do anything for you. And we look forward to hoping you guys get some people reaching out to you.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
His name symbolized all that was corrupt. My name symbolized all that was pure.